Whole sports all plays. Yeah. Whole sports all plays. Whole sports all plays. 365, we making up plays. You talking the game, get you through the days. We're high in the court, the dime in the lane. Variety topics, living the same. All presentation, sports information. Hitting the airways, taking the nation. All sport, all plays, like working your faces. Grace at the field, so tie the laces. All sports, all plays.
What's going on, everybody? Welcome to the He's on Fire podcast. As me, Jay Nez, Amit, and AZ Kiddo, we gonna get it in tonight as we brought in our 10th straight win tonight against the Dallas Mavericks. You know, Amit, what's your first takes on that game tonight?
Man, like this game was definitely something. For the second straight game, Chris Paul couldn't get going until like the last 5 minutes of the game. But overall, we played good. Our defense was sort of mediocre, in my opinion. Definitely, the third quarter, DA was floating off a lot of the times and leaving like Porzingis open with the mid jumper or leaving a Hardaway Jr. open in the corner and stuff. It's just little stuff like that kept this game really close. But shout out to Brunson. I really like that guy. He plays hard every game, and he covers a lot of deficiencies that the Mavericks have. And he did a good job trying to fill that void along with Hardaway. Jokic and not Jokic. Porzingis didn't score until top of the third. After scoring those 8 straight points in the first quarter. So I think overall we did a really good job, 10 straight win. Backcourt book came up clutch. Cam Johnson came in the fourth quarter and just made this 2 straight threes, made a very interesting game. And Jay Crowder all of a sudden wanted to make some threes as well. But this second straight game, Minnesota, and this game tonight that we just closed it out and we just played better ball at the end of the day.
Yeah, and like you said, Chris Paul, a horrible kind of shooting night. He was scoreless in the first half of the game, and then along with Cameron Payne and Cam Johnson. I mean, Amit, what do you think it is about this team that's starting off kind of slow lately?
Yeah, I think they've kind of built this trust within themselves to just kind of close games out. And I think last season there was a lot of games we saw where they had like 20-point leads. Like I remember the Detroit game, there was a Houston game. There's a bunch of games where we had a Hornets game where we had like a big lead and we blow it and lose, right? Brooklyn's another one coming to mind. This team is different, dude. This team is different than last year. We have the same guys, but they trust DA. Like if you go back to that Minnesota game, like that book with that pass, he wouldn't have made that throw a year ago.
No.
He wouldn't have made that throw. And he caught it. DA caught it one hand, found a way to get the hoop up and got it, right? So, I mean, they're trusting DA a lot more. And then Booker's, I said it on the last podcast, he's an all-timer already. He's an all-timer. I mean, you saw that up and under Kobe move right there.
Oh,
that's
that shit was nasty, dude.
I didn't know he had hang time like that.
That's definitely a 2K move. That's definitely a 2K move right there.
Yeah, you can't. There's very few human beings can do that in real life. So
Yeah.
I mean, he's reaching another level, and we're seeing it with him. And I've been saying it with like the rebounding and the assists and just certain blocks that he makes. Like he's finding moments where he can make an influence in the game and take it over if he can. I thought in this game the 3-point defense was garbage.
Yeah.
We left a lot of guys open on the 3-point line, and they were hot. And that's usually for this team a recipe for disaster when their offense isn't clicking. Because if you give a team a rhythm like that in the third quarter, fourth quarter, like you're going to lose. And usually I shouldn't say usually, but this season they lock it in. They find a stretch where they just lock in on defense for like 5-7 minutes and the game's over, right? Like that 50-18 run against, I can't remember who it was, but they have those like stretches, right? They didn't really do it this game at all. And I was worried in the third quarter because all our offense was coming from Booker and Jay Crowder, like hitting lucky threes, right?
Yeah.
Lucky or whatever, just volume threes. He was just hitting a lot of threes. And the rest of the offense, and I think that's my other takeaway for the second unit, is that they just rely too much on the 3-point shot.
Well, and that's what I was gonna say too on that second unit. They still haven't found who's gonna be the playmaker, who's gonna be the identity of the scorer on that unit. I mean, that first quarter we came out, we were keeping it. We were putting the pressure on them, really. And then we ended up switching to that second unit. It was McGee, Cam Johnson, Shamet, Cam Payne, and Nader. And the offense went stagnant. Dallas went on a 7-3 run. And then we called that timeout. Now, after the timeout, it seemed like Shamet, who had the hot hand at that time, was kind of noted like, hey, go ahead and give the ball to Shamet. He's hot. Because he was 4 for 4 to start the game. So I think, as we've spoken before about this team, Shamet is one of those guys that, is going to be driving that second unit. And then Cameron Payne had a bad night as well.
Yes, he did.
Cameron Payne having a bad night is really going to hurt because that second unit really survives on his energy. Exactly. Yeah, exactly, JV. So, I think that those type of things that we see there, is really going to affect us to get going, especially if we don't have any of those extra pieces doing anything. Now, I will say that Nader, he really has to be a little bit more consistent on the offensive end to drive that playing time. Because I like his defense. I really do. But he's missing. He was only 0 for 3, but the 3 shots he missed, those 2 3-pointers were wide.
In the corner.
Open.
Well, the funny thing is after he took the first one, when they gave it to him the second time, I'm like, bro, you better drive this to the rim, dude. I don't want to see another one of those clunkers. And then when he did drive it to the rim, then he got blocked.
Well, I'm glad he shot that second 3 because he was so wide open. I don't want him to hesitate. He has to take that shot, but dude, like that bad of a miss too? Like, come on, man. And like you said, then he drives the hole and gets blocked. So you're damned if you do, damned if you don't in that situation. You know what I mean? So
that's the Nader experience, man. That's what you get with that guy, unfortunately.
But he's so solid on the defensive end. And it's hard to kind of exchange those minutes. But when you got guys like Crowder, you got guys like Bridges playing the way they were defensively tonight, it does make it a little bit easier.
I mean, I'm just gonna say one thing, dude. There's 2 things. I mean, we got the Thaddeus Young thing still hanging out there, right? We haven't seen Jalen Smith in a long time, and I know NBA the Suns Jam have the Ayton watch. I got a Torrey Craig watch because this guy's playing like 10 minutes a game and getting 0 points, 0 shots, 0 rebounds. There's a way they could buy him out, and the Suns can get him back, and I would be happy to replace Nader with Craig.
I'm all for I want to take the offensive keys away from Nader. I think Monty has way too much trust in him. Like if we just had him on solely rebounding and hard defense, Like if we
cuts.
just had
Cuts.
or cuts,
We can't do that. That takes away from Monty's offense. Because if you look at that, we didn't run any plays for Nader. It wasn't like he came off of a screen. He was open due to the offensive flow.
But do you think he's best positioned to be standing in the corner? I think he needs to be on the wing ready to cut. I don't think he should be standing in the corner.
He doesn't have enough of those offensive skills cutting to the basket where I trust him. Then you're
All he's
taking
gotta do
away
is
from
catch it
somebody
under the free
else.
throw line.
But you're taking away from somebody else on that wing that's more effective.
All I'm saying is, like, when we're not running plays, that's when I want Nader always on the bottom of the key, ready to snatch that board, dish it out when he needs to, or find someone that is cutting, because like his offensive game is not there, and I feel like we're just wasting possessions when he's just chucking up shots and just rushing them.
Yes.
So, yeah, that's all I'm saying. I love Nader. I think he does bring a lot to the defensive side of things, but if he can definitely get boards if he wanted to, and his defense is there. If Nader was put on Tim Hardaway, I think Tim Hardaway would have had 8 points less. So, like, Nader would have stayed on Hardaway.
All right, so I got a interesting topic here. So what if there was a way where you could put Nader, if you could flip Nader for Kelly Oubre on a minimum, would you do it?
I don't know if we're. I mean, yet my quick answer is yes. But if we're weighing between Thaddeus Young, Oubre, who else? Torrey Craig. If we're wavering between those three, I would prefer Craig because of the continuity.
Yes.
I still would prefer Thaddeus Young over Oubre. The only reason why is because of the position. At the end of the day, if Oubre comes over here, I think we have a jam log at the wing position again, which is what caused us to get rid of Oubre in the first place.
Mm-hmm. Well, I think it's just a fit, right? Like, and I think what I'm trying to get at is I don't know if Nader's a fit, because him and Oubre do similar things, right? Like they just attack the rim, they play really good defense. Oubre's a better shot blocker off ball. He plays the passing lanes maybe a little bit better than Nader, but Nader's a better.
And he could play the offensive side of the ball.
He's got a little bit of offensive game, even though he's kind of in the Russell Westbrook category sometimes, right?
Yeah.
See, but again, like you said, Amit, fit. Because when he was with us, he fit a little bit more naturally into his personal traits, what he's best at. And so you're, again, there offensively, he'll fit right back into the swing of things.
I'd rather have
I think
Torrey,
so, but I don't
honestly.
know if he'll pass the ball, though. Sorry, what were you saying, JJ?
If I had to pick between Torrey, Oubre, and Nader, I would definitely pick Torrey just because I think he just fits in Monty's system a lot more. Like Oubre, I love Oubre to death, but he was just pretty standoffish and he sort of did his own thing. He definitely was
considering him the Valley Boys, and then he wanted to be on the camera.
Oh yeah, but he was definitely our second option, but like we needed DA to be that second option at that time when it was bubble season. So I think Torrey just fits the mold a lot better. He's Nader on defense, but grabs boards, and if you leave him open on the wing, like 7 times out of 10, he's probably going to hit it and not airball it. So
I mean, but just running down real quick, let's break down the Maverick stat line. We had Tim Hardaway Jr., 22 points, 2 rebounds, 4 assists on 37 minutes, along with Brunson, like you mentioned, JJ. He had a big night. He was 1 rebound and 1 assist shy of a triple-double. He ended up 18 points, 9 rebounds, 9 assists. I also like the way they guarded Finney-Smith tonight. Seems like he never got into a rhythm. He never really was a part of the game at all. And that was a big piece with them being without Luka shutting down Finney-Smith like that. He only had 9 points and ended up with 7 rebounds.
That guy sucks, dude. I mean,
Finney-Smith?
I think Mike Vigil said it on Twitter. DFS, dude, fucking sucks. Like if he doesn't have Luka, that guy's garbage, man.
He missed some key shots to make this game like a lot more even.
But
Like,
There were open threes. We had poor defense. It was, I don't know.
yeah.
But Finney Smith is one of those guys. He's not your first option offensive player at all. He's a guy that if left alone and put in the right positions, he's going to capitalize. Finney Smith he also has that athleticism to take it to the basket and finish. So, those type of guys with that type of size typically give us a run for our money. And in the past matchups with Dallas, Finney Smith has done that as well.
He has with Luka though.
I agree.
True. The other big thing I did see taken away from Dallas is Burke and Fred both are, Burke and Nicolina.
Yeah.
Both had 13 and 10 off the bench, but Powell had 13 rebounds, so that was big for them as well. Looking at the Suns side of things, just to break it down, Ayton, big game tonight, 19 points, 13 rebounds, 2 assists. He was 9 for 13 from the field. He also finished up with 1 block. I mean, Ayton, if I was talking to JJ about this earlier before we came on, I really don't like the way the Suns go away from Ayton in the first quarter, in the beginning of the games, because that to me is one of the most effective times for DeAndre. He comes out, he eats exactly, and I think that we should feed him early on in the game. And I made a reference with JJ earlier to the old Shaq and Kobe times when the games would first start in LA. Shaq would get fed the ball. He would get fed the ball. They would try their hardest to pick up a couple early fouls on that low, whoever's guarding him down there, and make it a little bit easier for him overall. And I think that's something we need to look at moving forward with DeAndre, because he always starts well.
Yeah, he does. I mean, I think we do that. I think I've noticed this year though, and maybe it's the effect of having JaVale McGee, but they look for him more. Like they've been looking for him. Like they look for the mismatch. They've been feeding it to him. I remember times where I'm just like, just throw it to him. Just he's there. Just throw it over the top. They don't make the throw. I saw 2 passes in this game. I think Shamet made one, and another person. They tried to feed McGee, and it was just a bad throw. And I'm like,
those were awful passes,
right? And I'm like, where are those for Ayton? Because he can actually catch that shit. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like there was a play where Chris Paul got fouled, but he threw it up, and I'm like, there's no way Ayton's gonna get that ball, and somehow he got it and turned it around and like laid it in, even though it didn't count. But I was like, holy fuck! Like it reminded me of the playoffs where he had some of those like crazy alley oops, where it was just like, I think it was Crowder threw him one,
like the game, the game winning alley oop,
and that one too. Yeah. I mean, that one was like, that's a whole nother thing. But
I mean, I just as a big man is like it's a feather. Like he gets it just perfect. On those whack ass passes too, he can just like hit it in.
Yeah, he doesn't even like try to dunk it, or he just throws out the backboard and gets it in somehow. And that's that's a talent in itself to be able to do that. I think McGee has that talent too, a little bit.
He had a little bit,
emphasized a little bit. No, and you know what, you're very right with that though, and I think that it's Chris Paul. I think he's DeAndre Ayton's gained that respect of Chris Paul, to where he's gearing things up way more, and he knows kind of where DeAndre Ayton's going to be now. He doesn't have to look for him. He kind of just senses where he's going to be at. Now, I will say on the flip side, Devin Booker, I still think he forces things rather than give the ball to Ayton. And I still see that very often. It's kind of like I think it was in the fourth quarter, towards the end of the third, where DeAndre and him were running a little 2-man on the wing. Ayton acted as he was going to set a screen and kind of slipped back because the defender kind of bit hard on it, and Ayton was wide open. And Booker still ended up forcing up the shot.
I think he made the shot though.
He did make the shot, but it was just still even DeAndre kind of looked at him like. But you know what I mean? It's just those little bitty things where Chris Paul would have ate that up, and that would have been an assist.
Yeah, but there's also times where I've seen Paul do the same thing with Ayton, where he takes a shot. In particular, this game too. There's a few times where I'm like, he could have maybe like hesitate dribble or hold it for a second or pump fake, and he didn't make it, and he just took a shot, and he missed a lot of shots in this game where I felt like there was some opportunities, to pass the ball. But going back to your overall point, I think with Aiden, I mean, we took a lot of threes in this game that we didn't need to take.
Yes.
And you could have gotten the ball to Aiden, gotten on the foul line, created some more free throw attempts because we didn't get any free throw attempts until the fourth quarter. And I think that was really what kept the game close, is that we just kept forcing up these stupid threes, and then we left them open on threes, or they hit some wild threes. Like, that was just pretty much the game.
I mean, overall, we shot 33.
threes.
Yeah, I was going to say, overall, we shot 33%, but we shot 39 threes.
Yeah.
And I mean, we're 23rd in the league in 3-point attempts a game. So, I mean, it's not something that this team is used to doing. So it's just a different team. It really is, from inside out.
I think the second unit, yeah. I think the formula for success is the same, but they just haven't figured out that second unit to make it work yet. Because I think, like, we know fourth quarter, Book and CP3 are hopefully going to take over the game. They'll create some turnovers along the way. I think the problem is that Cam, Landry Shamet, and Payne don't know how to play together.
Correct.
And then
correct.
Compound that with the fact that JaVale McGee had played in the starting lineup, and that confused a lot of it too, because you had Kaminsky out there, and he gave you a lot of like smoke and
Different
mirrors,
looks.
right?
Correct.
Like he gave you a lot of success, but it wasn't what the second unit's going to look like, the final form of it.
No, because JaVale McGee, that takes a whole different aspect of the offensive flow off of the game. Because, him stepping out in that wing versus Kaminsky stepping out that wing is two different ball games.
Yeah.
And you're expecting the hard roll from McGee and Frank. You're expecting, who knows what you're expecting with Frank, man.
Yeah, hard roll from McGee though. It could turn into a Shaqtin' the Fool. And that's just the thing though, So that pick and pop with Kaminsky was working.
Yeah.
Just to wrap up some other things, Chris Paul, he's still killing it. 14 assists tonight. He leads the league in assists. Shows it again tonight. Bridges and Crowder, both multiple steals tonight. And I really like Crowder. He just somehow finds his way into every single play. You know what I mean? So it's really good. His hustle. He doesn't ever gives up. Real quick, JJ, but on Shamet, because I know a lot of people have been against Shamet as far as Suns fans and others. What do you feel about Shamet? Because I mean, each and every night I feel like his shooting percentages are there. He's hustling up and down the court, and I feel like he fits.
It's gonna work. He's definitely flowing with the defensive rotations a lot better now than compared to 2 weeks ago. I like Shaman in the system. I think James Jones did a good job picking him up. He's definitely gonna fit in the system. Payne is just coming back from injury. JaVale McGee was starting for a little bit, so we finally have everybody back to where we can start running these rotations together and stuff. And Sham started 4 for 4 tonight, and then he kind of disappeared for a little bit, but then he made a couple of shots in the second half that were
the reverse
big.
layup.
That was nasty. He hit that all the way on top of the board. But I think Sham fits in the system. It's just going to take time. I said give him until Christmas. I think he'll figure it out by then. His defense rotations are a lot better than they were. He's a lot more involved in the offense. I just wish he didn't rush his threes so much. Once he gets the ball at the wing, he feels like he needs to shoot it, but he has the option to just pump fake it, take it to the mid jumper if he wants to, or just take it in for a layup, or just dish it a Book, because 9 times out of 10 he's open on the wing as well. But he'll pick it up, and JaVale McGee, he's looking better every game, so that's already improving on our rap sheet for sure.
He dropped a nasty bounce pass to JaVale McGee for a layup.
Yeah.
And he's got that playmaking ability. He's playing too fast right now, defense and offense. His defense has been good, but he's playing a little bit too fast.
It's just pacing.
He needs to slow it down a little bit. I did like that when Monty went to the 3-guard lineup, he had Payne, Paul, and Shamet out there.
Mhm.
But in that role, Shamet's got to know, dude. The movement threes, like this isn't Philly. This isn't the Clippers. Like you're not JJ Redick, bro. Like you gotta just.
That's a good point.
He's good.
He is playing like that. Yeah, he is playing like that. Yeah.
Yeah.
And we're not running plays for him to do that. He's doing that just because like he's getting the ball in space and he's like, well, fuck it, I'm just gonna chuck it up.
Yeah, his job right now is to swing the ball, and if the shot is there, you take it, but don't like force it. Don't fade. If you have to fade on your three, it's
100%.
It's forced. Correct.
Watch
Get
Cam
your
Johnson
feet
shoot a
underneath
three, dude, straight up and down.
Yeah,
Straight up and down.
Cam, if everybody shot like Cam, no, but
we're a team with like people with really pretty jumpers like Cam, Devin, Chris Paul's pretty solid just jump shot posture and stuff.
A lot of times that's what gets Devin Booker over. Is he's so straight up and down on his jump shot, and he'll have good defense like that play where Frank defended him right on that left wing, and he was right there that whole time. It's just that Devin Booker had that little. He was like a couple finger lengths over him, and was able to just get that shot off. And a lot of times, I feel like Devin Booker straight up and down posture is what really gets him over on those type of things.
Mm-hmm. There was like Absolutely. A 5-minute stretch in the second quarter. I don't know if you guys remember. It was hilarious because I was laughing the whole time. There's literally like a foul on every single shot, and the refs called 0 fouls both ways. Not just the Suns, but the Mavericks too. People getting pushed in the back. People getting just fouled everywhere, and they didn't call a foul.
I was surprised.
Good 5 minutes.
But they call those tic-tac charge calls.
Yeah, the Cam Johnson one, and then
the DeAndre Ayton one in the first quarter. And there was a couple on Dallas side too. But I was saying, like, how are you gonna let all that contact go and then call these ticky-tack, like barely any contact charges and stuff?
Yeah, when the guy's falling back, he's falling back already before the guy touches him.
Yeah, come on.
Like Brunson was on the floor a lot of the time, and they just didn't call it. And I was just like, "Oh, all right, they were taking the ball, and especially on that Mikal Bridges steal when he hit Porzingis' hand. Yeah, biggest play of the game. Like last year, that was a foul before even Mikal hit his arm. So, I was just expecting to hear the whistle, but we got 2 out of it.
I mean, I was so surprised that CP3 didn't get called for that foul where he grabbed that guy's arm on the layup. And they're just like, oh, CP3 was really good at ripping, right? So he just ripped it from him. I'm like, no, he fucking fouled that dude. But he didn't call it.
Right. Well, so now, guys, we're on a 10-game winning streak. We're 1 game behind Golden State right now. Of course, we got Dallas coming back on Friday. Luka looks like he'll be back from the looks of it. There's a high chance he will be back. He's going to practice tomorrow, see how he feels. Do you think we pick up 11? If Luka's back?
What Luka does is he slows down their offense. They were playing really fast pace tonight, and especially with Brunson leading the charge. So with Brunson coming off the bench and Luka kind of controlling his offensive flow, I think we win that battle 9 times out of 10. I think Luka's game's very one-dimensional. He's a really good player, don't get me wrong, but it's either his way or no way. So when Luka's on the floor, Porzingis isn't playing good. So it's either Hardaway or Luka that are having a field day. So if we cut off one of those guys, it's going to be a 15-point game.
I agree with that. I agree with the one-dimensional part of Luka to an extent. I think he's becoming it. And I think in the beginning when he came in, he used more of his game, and he was a little bit more dangerous. So I think he just needs to get back to that ball handling killer that he was, and stop, focusing so hard. I think he's trying to force feed it down people's throats now instead of, letting it come to him and actually feeding off of the reactions of the defenders.
Yeah. Well, I saw a stat where his first year when he was with Rick Carlisle, he was like 60% of the shots were coming like 3 feet from the rim. Like they were just, the offense is different now. And he's kind of became this James Harden dude where I'm just going to foul bait. And you guys remember the bubble game where he had like 20 free throws. We ended up winning that game, but it shouldn't even been close at all. I don't believe in him. I just the way he's playing and the way he slows a game down, and now he can't foul bait the way he used to.
Yeah.
He like you said, he's got to go back to what he was, which was like a little bit more downhill, a little bit more like, just quicker decisions rather than just getting to like down the free throw line and just dribbling for 5 seconds, but like finding a way to get the ball to other people or doing something different. I want to go to Porzingis though, because like I think this game proved it to me that, dude, this guy got punked by Ayton, he got punked by Crowder, he got punked by Bridges. Like, I really want to see where I want to see Monty go, yo, put campaign on this guy. I wish we still have Bulldog because I'd put Bulldog in this dude. Let's see if he could actually guard anybody, but or if he can play offense on somebody that can guard him. So yeah, I mean, he's not the guy. He's not the guy.
But is he?
You ain't that guy, man.
But is he a center? I mean, I honestly think that when he first came to the league and they were using him more as a wing player, I think he was more effective. And I think that it actually played more into his game. I think he had less chances of getting hurt. I think it was just way better off overall for him. And I think banging down low with them, those guys like DeAndre Ayton, and if he has to face like a Karl Anthony's or a Joel Embiid, they're too big, they're too heavy, it's too much for him, and he can't do that for 4 quarters.
He thought he could take Ayton off the dribble. I'm like, he was like, oh, I'm at the free throw line or at the top of the key. I'm gonna take Ayton off the dribble. Ayton's like, that's not happening, bro.
Ayton did a great job guarding him tonight.
But 2 years in, Porzingis would have took him off the dribble.
You're right. Before the knee injury, when he was
But he was the center point of the Knicks. Like, it was just him, so he was able to do whatever the hell he wanted.
But again, I think that his ego got beat up in New York, and because that's when they kind of made that switch and pushed him down low, and he just wasn't having it, and they were force feeding him that ball down low and stuff. So I think that's when his ego got beat up. And, as a result of that, now you got the injury. Now him and Luka don't get along. It's out in public. Like, there's a lot of other things that I don't think Porzingis is going to ever sprout the way he was beforehand in Dallas.
I agree with that 100%.
If he'll ever get back to who he was.
Hopefully it's all mental right now, like I said, and he most of this stuff is just him in the Dallas issue, and he can go somewhere else and flourish again. Because I used to like his Porzingis' game.
I just don't see what system he would fit in because, like, he's built to be a center, and he doesn't have a post move he can do 2 times in a row. He rather settle for the jump shot, and he doesn't absorb contact, and he rather just shoot it from the wing. So, like, what's a team that he'll like fit on right now?
San Antonio.
I mean, yeah, but like, go to a shitty team. Might as well.
I mean, but I'm saying what like Pop would know exactly what to do with them, how to use them. I mean, send them to San Antonio, send them to somebody like.
Duncan's there. Might as well. Yeah.
You know what I'm saying though. I think Houston would be a good spot for him with all those young wings out there, and then Christian Wood's also able to stretch the floor as well. I think Houston would be a great spot for him.
I can see Houston.
If you do that deal, you got to swap Christian Wood, and that he's got to be part of that Porzingis deal.
Man, Christian Wood on Dallas, man.
Yeah.
No, I don't think you need to. I mean, because now you can look at Dallas and say, what has Porzingis done to warrant Christian Woods in the trade? Nothing.
Just the money.
Hey, Christian Wood on Dallas would be an intimidating team.
Yeah, that would put them over.
Yeah.
I mean, at that point, you had to move Powell. But so after Dallas, they have the Nuggets, the Cavs. I mean, the Nuggets, the Spurs, the Cavs, and the Knicks. Those are the next 5 games here. So looking real promising. Like I said, we're on a 10-game winning streak, 1 behind Golden State. Hopefully we can make a push here before Christmas and take the lead from them. All right.
I mean, I'm looking at this. I'm seeing the way this team is playing. And granted, like, even in days where they're off, like that Minnesota game, even tonight where the defense wasn't as solid. Mm-hmm. And I'm looking at that Nets game. I'm thinking that's the next loss. That's like what, 4 or 5 games from now?
That's game number 6.
Yeah.
6. So, and I think our all-time winning streak is 14. From what I understand.
So you're saying we break the winning streak, get the 15th game, and then we go into Brooklyn, and that's where we end it.
That's where we see what we're about.
Book it. Emmett said it here first. Book it.
Yeah.
Book it.
So let's
that.
move over to Arizona. Let's move over to Cardinals. Let's talk about that game in Carolina a little bit, and let's talk about a little bit about the next one coming up. I mean, what were you guys' thoughts on that game in Carolina? Was it kind of what you've expected? We saw Stevler again.
Yeah, I mean, I just have the same thoughts that I had on Sunday, where I'm just like, this team wasn't prepared. They didn't really take it seriously. We got really lucky that everybody in the division lost, or everybody in the conference lost. So It just kind of gave us an extra game, which I'm hoping that they decide that, okay, they gave us an extra game, but we still got to play Kyler. Like, we got to play Kyler in this game.
Yeah.
If Colt McCoy's hurt too, and we couldn't sign the Cleveland quarterback. Kansas City quarterback. They're trying to sign him and they couldn't get him.
Mm-hmm.
Kyler's got to play. I hope he's healthy enough to play.
What about you, JJ?
My thoughts are kind of the same from Sunday. If the Rams lost, the Bucs lost, and Green Bay won, but sort of barely. That they didn't score until like the end of the third, top of the fourth. But all those losses gave us an extra game. Like Carolina had to shape up because they're the last seed in the NFC, and if the playoffs were going to start today, we would have to face them. So I'd rather my main focus is getting Kyler to go against Russ on Sunday. I think that'll be a really good game, and then Kyler has that extra week of just resting up. But the Carolina game, I didn't take too seriously. We asked Colt to come in for one game, and he did do that one game. Carolina had time to study that, and was probably once they heard Kyler was going to be out that game, they took full advantage. Then they signed Newton, and so there's only so much you can do with that. And
how was
Carolina
he eligible to play after 2 days? That's
I don't know. I thought he wasn't cleared, but I guess so. But
I don't know how that was happening, because didn't he get signed on Tuesday or Wednesday?
No, Thursday.
So then he would have had to have gotten tested,
physicals and all.
Yeah,
all that shit.
It don't make sense.
Yeah.
But I mean, regardless of that, I'm happy for Cam Newton. I'm happy for him. I think that that single-handedly, that secret wild card that they brought to the table is single-handedly flipped that game upside down. Because we looked overwhelmed. Carolina had. Go ahead.
No, I was going to just say, we know how this team plays in the goal line, right? We gave up 2 goal line touchdowns to Cam Newton because we didn't know what the fuck was going on.
Yeah, we looked overwhelmed.
How is this guy even in the
We
game?
didn't play for Cam Newton. This dude just came 2 days ago.
But other better offenses in the goal line, we stopped Green Bay 7 times in a row at the 1 yard line.
Yeah,
you know what I mean. This team can stop the goal line.
And I agree with you because,
I
said, they looked overwhelmed when Cam stepped on the field that first time. When Cam stepped on the field, it was kind of like deer in the headlights. Oh shoot, we didn't talk about this. What do we do here? And he walked it in. If you ask me, he wasn't touched. He didn't have any issue getting to the end zone. And even when he got there, the team looked as if they didn't even know how he got there. So, and I felt like from that very moment, the team was just kind of stuck in awe, so to speak, until later on in the game. And then Colt McCoy going down, that obviously doesn't help, but in general, I agree with you, JJ. Just like you didn't take it seriously, Emmett said, the team didn't take it seriously either, and you could kind of tell. We weren't expecting Cam out there, and when he came out there, it kind of took us off guard,
Yeah. And we asked Colt to give us one game, and he gave us that one game, and I was totally cool with that. If we were to lose that Panthers game, I turned it off after the third quarter. I'm all whatever. But
Yeah, I did the same
Kyler needs to play Sunday. We could completely control the division if we beat Seattle. That gives us 4 wins, right?
Yeah, 4 wins in
Yes.
the division. Yes.
Yeah, so far. Yeah,
But we gotta also understand, like, so when we go up to Seattle, we under the Bruce Arians era, and even under Cliff, like, we win up there when we're the underdog. We're the favorite going in there.
That's the good
And
call.
and they are a wounded animal. This is
looking to survive.
Their last chance to make the playoffs is winning this game.
Yeah, we're a 2.5 favorite.
Yeah, that's not good. That's not good.
And real quick, one thing I do want to highlight on that I'm kind of upset on the last game, seeing that we knew, like you said, like many of us have said, that we counted on Colt for one game. He came in, he handed us that one game, and he played a perfect one game, if you ask me.
Yeah.
That second game going into it, I don't understand why Cliff hadn't game planned to feed the ball to our running backs more. I mean, 16 touches between the two of them, that just upsets me. You know what I mean? And I would have hoped to seen a little bit more of Eno in that game as well.
Yeah, I don't know what happened. I feel like just the turnovers just shook the whole game up. And they were just playing from behind, and I felt like they had to run it. And then Connor didn't really have – he had some running lanes in the second half.
He didn't have that
first half. Yeah, he had like maybe one or two first down runs. But, yeah, I don't know. Like, it was – you're right. It's weird.
Yeah, he broke off that. He his longest carry was 11 yards, and then Benjamin's was 9. They both averaged about 3.5. Connor almost averaged 4 yards a carry, but it just really upset me not to see them even later on in the game when we were losing, and it kind of already had that feeling that it was going down that path. I thought they were going to switch it to more of a run heavy offense.
Yeah, we only ran 3 screens for Connor throughout the whole game.
And that's his bread and butter.
Yeah, that's all we did against the Niners, and they couldn't fucking stop him. So, like, when it comes to the Niners defense and the Panthers defense, they're practically neck to neck. So I don't know why we didn't do the same game plan. They were just blitzing the whole game. Like, if we would have just ran screens the whole fucking time, like, we would have been through the blitz.
I think offensive, their game plan, they kind of picked up on what the Niners did earlier in the season, which is what, like, you just run the ball on us with that option play, and you got Christian McCaffrey, which is, he can slice you, and then he was ripping off chunks, and I think that was the problem, is that we couldn't stop the run. And it's weird, this team with the run, because, like, we were able to shut down Derrick Henry in the first week to like 30 yards, and we've had
goal line,
but we had
exactly, and then like other players where it was just teams where you don't expect them to be able to run the ball on us, and they do.
But see, you got to also understand, we had a healthy defensive line that first week. We had actually a healthy front seven, if you want to be exact. And ever since then, we've had somebody missing, and whether it be Phillips, whether it be now JJ, whether it was Chandler, whether it was somebody was always missing on that front seven. So, this defense healthy is, to me, top 3, top 4 defense in the league. And that's our problem, is staying healthy, staying with everyone on the field.
I mean, did you see that injury report today? That shit was a lot longer than last week.
Was it really? I didn't see it.
Yeah. You got it up?
See if I can find it.
Oh, I got it up. Where did it go? It was just right here.
Yeah, it was just a lot longer, but Kyler did practice today. He did look pretty good. I feel like he's going to play Sunday. I feel like he wants to play Sunday against Russ because, those games are always entertaining. But this is a big game. We need this 1 seed, in my opinion. I'd rather have that first round bye. If we have home advantage just throughout the playoffs, I think that's definitely going to work in our favor, especially if we get JJ Watt our first game of the playoffs, if we have that 1 seed.
It'll tell us a lot, because this offense, or this team, I should say in general, they've been winning by 12 points on the road.
Yeah.
So if we go out there and win this game on the road, I'm just thinking it doesn't matter at that point. Like
we'll beat you anywhere.
Yeah.
I mean, road or home. Yeah. If we have to go to Green Bay or something like that, maybe it's a different story. But this team is built to win on the road.
Yeah.
Yeah, we're scary on the road.
We're also 4-0 in outdoor stadiums, so another good thing. So
Come to Seattle.
right. Looking at that, what else is going on? Week 11 looks at the Rams are on a bye that week, and then the Niners have Jacksonville. So we definitely want to wrap this game up. We don't want the game lose no ground to anybody in our division at all. Outside of that ASU, Utah, didn't they just lose? Oh no, it was Oregon.
Well, the last game was against Washington.
No, we beat Washington last. I was saying, didn't Oregon just lose?
Yeah, Oregon. Yeah, I believe Oregon just lost.
Yeah, that's big too. I think winning out, we still might have a chance to close out, hit that championship game, win that championship game, and possibly get a bid into maybe the Rose Bowl or something.
I think so. I think ASU would get maybe 10 wins, 9 wins, possibly. I think we could definitely just squeeze in barely, but that Washington game was sloppy.
We've had a few sloppy wins this year. A couple of nice ones in the beginning, but yeah, definitely a few sloppy ones at the end. Yeah. Well, I think we can go ahead and wrap it up. Coach will be on next week, or actually this Sunday. I think you guys have another one. We have another one.
Yeah, Sunday.
You gonna be on Sunday with us?
I should be. Yeah, I should be. I've been out for the past week or so. I've been crazy around here, but yeah, I should be back on Sunday with you guys.
Cool. Sounds good.
So we got a game. Suns got a game on Friday. Mavericks. Do we have another game on Sunday?
Yeah, we got a game on Friday against the Mavericks, and then we got a game on Sunday, I believe, against San Antonio. Was it?
I don't think it's San Antonio. Let's see. Oh, did you see the Lakers lost again?
Oh, yeah, Denver.
They're scrubs.
Yeah.
Denver.
Yeah. So before we come out of here, let's talk about Denver real quick, man. What is it about that team?
There's a lot about this team.
There's a lot, dude. The chemistry is not there. They don't have the right fits. I mean, I don't understand how, like, if they would have made that Buddy Hield trade and be able to keep KCP, that would have made a lot of sense for them. But losing KCP, losing Harrell, losing Caruso, I mean, these guys were like their defensive players, right? They were their bench players. They don't have bench players. Carmelo's hot hit or miss. Either he's on fire or he's not. But he doesn't give you on defense either way, right? So it's like he has to be on fire for him to actually give you plus minutes in the box score.
Well, they got rid of everybody that you said besides KCP in a literal sense. They're all ball handlers and playmakers. And Kuzma, Caruso, these guys can ball handle and make their own play, and that's the problem too. When you look at Carmelo, he's not doing that anymore. Carmelo's not doing that anymore. He's may turn his back to you, and then he may take an outside perimeter shot. He's not taking the ball, breaking you down, and going to the hole anymore like he used to. Same thing when you look at the Wayne Ellingtons and the Bazemores, and they're putting them on the wings and having them sit as well. So now you got these guys standing around instead of being able to pass to a guy and him say, "Oh, I got to lean here. I'm going to take it to the goal and finish."
Oh, shit. Fucking audio just came up on ESPN. Jesus. Tonight, Taylor Horton-Tucker played 40 minutes. Are they really depending on him like that?
I mean, he's the youngest guy on the team.
But he can't play defense. And if you got him guarding, their best the best offensive player on the other team
for 40 minutes.
Melo had 10 points and he played 32 minutes. Davis played 37 and only scored 18 and only had 9 rebounds.
Dude, I want to ever hear it from a Laker fan that they would have won against us if he was healthy. Because Chris Paul wasn't healthy. All right.
No, he
We
was
were
walking around
winning
like
in Game
this.
4 before he got hurt.
Chris Paul was
Right.
walking around with one shoulder, like,
Yeah.
you know, like. And that's the other thing too, Emmett. You know, when I look at it, coaching is not there. I understand they're trying to slide through the lineups to see what fits, but we know for one thing about that team was right, and that was Carmelo being the sixth man. Why would you move him? You have
Exactly.
one thing going right in the team, and you move it, and now look at him.
Yeah.
You know.
Yeah. And the other thing is that you got to play. AD's got to play 5 like the whole game. Like you can't put him against another big, and he can't play that way. He gets hurt. He doesn't want to play that way. He's not physical enough. He's not built like that.
And he's getting hurt. Like you said, he gets hurt. He's getting hurt every other play. Like it's ridiculous.
Yeah. And then what he wants to do is fade out there and shoot jumpers and shoot threes. He doesn't want to drive. He doesn't want to post. He doesn't want to look for a mismatch.
He'll slash.
I mean, he'll do
yeah,
that.
he'll slash, but
He'll do pick and roll. I mean,
but again, that's not no body on him, because if you put a body on him while he's slashing, he's going to get a foul call.
Yeah.
So and I don't know, and I can't fault AD for it anymore, because let's look at AD's career. He's been hurt. He's been hurt. He's been hurt. He's been hurt, and he's been hurt. So I get him. Right now. He's trying to play, careful, because he's better on the court than off the court, at the house on the couch. So I get that part.
Plus, it just comes down to like LeBron not playing. Like if anyone's going to make this team work, it's LeBron. And
but he's too old. He's too old now.
He can still construct a offense to work appropriately, and not Westbrook be a bull in a china shop. And AD.
But that requires Russ to stand outside, and he can't shoot. See, the thing is, here. Let me just get this one point out, and then you guys can go. Basically, okay. So here's my thing on LeBron. Like, yeah, he's one of the top 10, maybe 7 greatest players I've seen, but at this point in his career, he's relied so much on his physicality and the way that he gets hurt now, and the fact that he's not as skilled as a 3-point shooter, as just even a post-up player. He's not as good as he should be at this point. He's a great passer and he's a great facilitator, but I just like at this point, if you're saying like this guy could win a championship being the lead guy on a team, it's not going to happen.
No,
I feel opposite. I feel like if I look at LeBron James, I'm gonna take one back from the Suns' old playbook, but I look at Charles Barkley, and I look at that second transition of his career, when he went from the up and down high speed slashing player, and he gained a little bit of weight and turned his back to the basket. Still had all the same skill set that he had, but just used it differently.
3-pointer though. Remember, he improved his 3.
But he worked on that because of what he was trying to transition into. And I feel like LeBron has the ability to make that same transition and prolong his career, and even, look better at it doing it. So
I mean, I hear what you're saying, but I'm just seeing like his free throw percentage has gone down since he's gotten older. His free throw percentage has gone down since he's gotten older.
His 3-point percentage has gone up.
Has it gone up?
I believe so.
Yeah. Before he got hurt, it was up like 5%. It went from like 38 to like 40.
For this season, though, we're talking about like
44.
Just
this was before he got hurt.
He's gone up a little bit, yeah. So I mean, overall, Emmett, I get you, but he has made overall improvements in his areas that were bad coming in, because he was a bad shooter coming in, shooter, and now don't leave him open.
I mean, we do.
Regardless,
we
don't leave him open.
I mean, yeah, because we would rather him do that than touch the top of the backboard and put the ball on his toe. He just crazy stuff with it against us all the time. I don't understand it, but I don't know.
But he's not okay. Here's my other point. I guess this is probably hopefully this is the nail in the coffin here. And we saw it against the Lakers where Mikal Bridges was just running circles around him. He cannot give you that entire game full defense intensity.
No.
No, he can't give you that same energy levels that he did, and that's why I kind of compared it to the second coming of Barkley, because Barkley couldn't. He got to a point where he couldn't run around the same way and do the energy levels that he was doing. So I just think it's time for Braun to not really pick a different playing style, but tone it down and kind of use what he's good at, and zone in on that. You know,
I know exactly how. He needs to take a Chris Paul approach.
Yep.
Bring the ball up the court, facilitate the offense, get to your
score
spot,
when necessary.
score when necessary. And I think he wants to do that, but there isn't anybody dependable on this fucking team. So I mean, we'll see. We'll see in the new year, but
I don't think there is. I think Westbrook has gotten to a point in his career where he hasn't changed his game. He's playing the same way. He's gotten worse as a shooter, and we're seeing like this guy just the shots that he misses, like it's just Shaqtin' a fool stuff. Like it's just JaVale McGee like 6 feet shorter. You know what I mean? I'm like, why are you always trying to bank a shot? Like, can you just shoot normal?
Right. You shoot too hard to be banking. Right? Like, what are you doing?
Not to break the fucking glass.
Hey, but you know, we got the point guard, so everything's good over here at our side, you know. And I really think the way we're going again, if we meet the current LA Lakers in the playoffs, we beat them again.
And we're cashing in that crypto, you know.
Boom shakalaka!
Hell yeah.
Well, you know, a good show, guys. Appreciate you letting me on and host it for you guys. I hope to be with you guys on Sunday. Any last words, JJ, before we get up out of here?
To all my Suns fans, 10 in a row. Let's keep it going. I think the record is 33. Well, let's shoot for 34. Fuck it. I just want to say this about the Warriors real quick. They're a really good team, but I don't think they can go toe-to-toe with us if we're playing our best game. So it's really between us and the Warriors, and everybody else is playing catch-up. Let's not take advantage of what's going on right now. I think the Suns team is a better team. We're just tweaking things around. I'd rather win a tight game than blow a 20-point lead that we had on the top of the third. So, yeah. There's that. Then Cardinals, Kyler, please play Sunday. Let's get 4 wins in the division, and I'm pretty sure that'll solidify us and being in the playoffs at least. And then we can just move on from there. Have that extra week off. Let's get everybody back for the most part to start after Thanksgiving. And yeah, but besides that, like episode 26, this is crazy. We're just pushing through, and everything is just good right now. All smiles over here.
Amit?
You know, same thing. I mean, you know, I'm not trying to go for 34 wins. Let's just get that 16th.
Why not? Why not?
Let's get to that Nets game, man. I want a rematch with the Nets.
I think we'll beat the Nets, honestly.
I mean, let's get there. Let's win all these games first. This team is rolling, man. I said it. I keep saying it. Like, this team has found a groove, and they're not even clicking perfectly, but they still have enough defensively. Now with Ayton back, and he just gobbles up every rebound. I mean, the team is solid. And the fact that everybody's sleeping on this team is just surprising to me. As far as the Cardinals go, yes, we definitely need Kyler. We need to win that game. You know, other than that, man, I mean, you know, let's keep it going. Lakers suck. I said it before the season.
Yes, all of us did. We're like, you and I were like, we don't know how this is gonna work, and most likely it won't work. And we've been on the money.
I'm like, tell me where it's worked with Westbrook. Tell me one place where it's worked.
But see, man. Westbrook's one of my favorite players, man. I don't want to call. I don't want to call Russ.
I love Russ.
I don't want to call Russ. But he's doing better now that LeBron's not there. But when LeBron comes back, he's gonna go back to, you know, squatting in the back alley.
Dude, he shot 19 shots. He shoots more shots than Anthony Davis. Does that seem right?
Yeah.
I don't think it does.
Yeah, it seems right.
Davis.
You got Kyrie, you got Westbrook, or you got Damian Lillard. You got a guard like that, they're going to shoot more than Anthony Davis.
Those guys can shoot. Those guys can actually shoot.
You didn't say that. You didn't say that was part of the you didn't put that as part of the equation. Now you're changing the narrative.
Westbrook should be nowhere near the three. Mid jumpers and in the paint only.
They leave them open on those jumpers too. It's just like, go ahead, bank it, dog. Let's see if you can do it.
They're doing it like they did Rondo at the beginning of his career.
Should it.
You know, so my closing words, man. So we got a long stretch here from now until Christmas. We have the Nets coming up on the 27th, a couple days after Thanksgiving. We got the Golden State Warriors 3 days after that. We turn around and play the Warriors again on December 3rd. And then the game that I'm looking at, Lakers December 21st and Christmas Day,
Warriors.
Golden State again. So you guys, big thing that we're going to know by the end of the year is, do we have a tiebreaker against Golden State, and where we stand, because it'll give us a good idea of how we need to treat the second half of this year.
Yep.
So we got a big stretch coming up. I can't wait. I'm excited. We got, like I said, some premier games. But again, like Amit pointed out, I'm excited about that Brooklyn game. And that's really going to give us a measurement before we hit Golden State even of where we're at with this team.
Absolutely.
But everybody, we'll be back Sunday. Make sure to log on and subscribe to the He's On podcast Facebook page, as well as the YouTube. And, of course, get on our Facebook page as well, ASAP Network, and our YouTube as well. We appreciate you guys.
Appreciate it.
Peace out, guys.
All sports, all